I need to do this quest. I just hate being forced to do something I shouldn't have to do. So annoying. I will have to use some resin really quick. Let me double check. Map. Yeah, I need to use some resin really quick. Let's see. Yeah, I need those. I think I had enough what I need. I think I have exactly what I need, which is the 32. Now I just need more of them and more of them. I have no easy way. What's over here? I'll grab this then, I guess. The only thing I don't like about doing co-op on this, you might get one.
Temple of Wisdom.
Or none.
Everyone hold hands.
Yeah, might as well pull mine out too. Well, man, since everybody has one. Oh, yeah, we're gonna see this is nothing. We'll never get started.
Everyone hold hands. Memory.
Or we just sit there for like an hour, goofing around, not doing what we're supposed to be doing. I'm actually wondering, maybe I should. I guess I could try hydro, but I don't really have a lot of hydro. Have to just see how the elements match. It's the only hydro I really got. I don't have anything else leveled up. Even though it's probably bad to do this with, because this character does not like being healed. Is everybody here? Where is everybody? If someone hasn't loaded in. Someone is not. There's nothing I know. They're not here. It's loaded to the abyss or something. Wonder if they DC'd or something. I don't have time for this. So it doesn't even show in the world map. So check there, don't see anything there. is not unlocked. Next to Creek teleporter is not unlocked. It's just so fun. Normally when this starts happening, I'm just gonna leave and go run on myself like twice. I can't. I don't know what's going on. I just can't keep wasting my time sitting there doing that. Now I'm trying to think who I want to use.
We can do this.
Should have probably did pyro for the melt damage. But it's still pretty bad. And I don't have to have a good pyro yet.
I can't wait any longer.
I don't like the other way you actually, because it says you fail. When you don't fail, it's because if you do this, it says you failed it or something, or they used to, and it shouldn't say that. It's not a failure unless you die. It's called tactical retreat.
Gather!
Boba, get them!
Into the wind! Fallen leaves, adorn my...
Nice and spicy.
Just unlock.
Stabilized!
You're toast! Born of ice and frost. Access denied. This is long overdue. Boba, get them!
I will have order!
Born of ice and frost.
Wait, how'd that one just fell? I didn't even hit that one.
Axe right here. We're way behind schedule.
I know that.
Next on the agenda.
Now, one thing I want right here is give me the option to open the fucking map. That's all I want. I want to be able to open the map. It's not asking that much. Let me open the fucking map, game. Used to be able to. But I would teleport where I wanted to go now, instead of having to go here and then teleport. It's dumb. I want my map to be able to be opened. That's not what I wanted to see. Anything... That's just the boat commissions, all that was. Damn phone, stop turning off.
We're way behind schedule.
Wait, why is there so many? What time even is it? It's only 5. Start. Oops, 8 I'll do this 8-hour one. 4-hour. This is a pretty
We're way
dark
behind
one,
schedule.
so I decided to. I did not do fishing. Fuck off. That is so dumb. Stop doing stupid shit next to other stupid shit. I mean it. It's dumb. I know at some point I'm gonna have to do Josh. I know I said the name wrong. I also want to do that one and get his weapon, even though. Is it this one? Oh, great, no, it's this one. And I will be muting it.
Been to the Yai Publishing House in a while. Paimon wonders if they have any new books in. The one we read with A that time was pretty cool.
Come on, this is a no-brainer, man. There's only one thing worth wishing for, and that is a ton of Mora.
But the exam's next week. If I fail again, I'm seriously done for. I'm better off wishing that my exam goes smoothly.
It's just an exam. Trust me, there's no problem you can't solve by throwing Mora at it. If it doesn't work, then just keep throwing till it does.
What are they arguing about? It's quite a spirited debate.
Huh? Really? You guys don't know? You need but stand on this land at midnight, lower your head and recite a special incantation, then your wish will come true.
Looks like you guys really aren't in the loop.
This, my friends, is the next big thing. A highly effective wish ritual guaranteed to make your wishes come true.
A wish ritual? That actually works? Right? Even It's just not how the world works.
I didn't believe it at first either, but that changed when it worked for someone I know. It's this guy called Kunihiko. He's practically always been unemployed, wastes his days away, and he owes a lot of money. Like, a lot. But get this. I don't see him for a few days, and suddenly I find him dressed to the nines and feasting at a high-class restaurant. I heard it directly from him. He used this wishing ritual, and the next day he woke up to find his whole bed filled high with Mora.
His whole bed was filled with... Wow!
Of course, I'm sure the part about waking up lying on a bed of Mora is a bit of an exaggeration. Whether you believe it or not, it's not exactly a difficult ritual. It can't hurt to give it a try, right?
If you're still feeling skeptical, just ask around. There are a lot of very compelling stories going around these days.
Really? Well, come on! Let's go ask around right now, shall we? Well, if it really is true, then just think of all the Mora Paimon could... Oh, and you'd finally be reunited with your twin, too! Let's go, let's go! On closer inspection, it seems like there really are a lot of people talking about this kind of stuff. Hey, see those two? Paimon remembers them from the AI publishing house. One's an editor and the other's an author.
Grasp the thought in mind. Clear like the light of the moon. As close as kin with you. No, thou. Wait, thee? Hear my summons, right?
No, it's not hear my summons, it's heed my summons. Heed! You're never going to get it down at this rate.
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Whoa! Sheesh, you scared me! Okay. Okay. Where did I leave off with the incantation again?
Incantation? Are you guys trying out this new wishing ritual stuff too?
Junkichi is trying it out, to be specific. He's hit a bit of a creativity block recently, so... I'm helping him make a wish so that he can move past it. I mean, I obviously don't. But Junkichi never listens to an outside opinion, so all I can do is go along with it.
Mr. Shigeru, can you please be a little more accommodating? This is extremely important to me. People have had all kinds of wishes come true. Become more attractive, get rich quick, ace their studies. I'm just a poor, struggling writer looking to get over a creative hurdle. Is that so much to ask? Anyway, I just know this is going to work. I have a gut feeling about it.
Didn't you say the same thing when you went to make your wish at the Grand Narukami Shrine? Oh, I just know this is gonna work. I have a gut feeling about it.
The Omamori from the shrine take too long to have any effect on your luck. Alright, enough of that. Help me get this incantation down. My new book depends on it.
Look, to be completely honest, I think you need to sit down and have a good think about what kind of story you want to write. Where's all that self-confidence you had when you first started out? Look at you now, trying dubious methods from any old light novel.
Wait. What? This wishing ritual comes from a light novel?
Yep, it's from the one called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. No, it's most likely a self-published title. It just appeared out of nowhere and took Inazuma by storm. As a fellow writer, I'll refrain from passing comment on how well the story is written, but everyone is saying the wishing incantations it contains are the real deal.
Look, Junkichi, yes, everyone's saying it's real, it works, but that's only half the story. I've also heard lots of people saying that everyone who's had their wish granted using this method starts behaving strangely.
What's so surprising about that? They're probably just giddy with joy at having their wish come true.
This is starting to sound a little suspicious. Why don't we go to the Grand Narukami Shrine and ask Yai Miko about it? She's the expert when it comes to both light novels and the supernatural. Miko! Great, you're here!
Well, hello there, young ones. What brings you to the shrine? It just so happens that I have a wonderful novel here. I highly recommend it. Oh? Well, what did you want to ask?
Well, we were just... actually, you look kind of busy. Is this a bad time?
No, not at all. It's nothing major.
Lady Guji, what do you mean, nothing major? I'm begging you, you've got to help me save my brother.
It really is nothing major. I stand by that. Oh, but since you're so curious, let's have him relate the story one more time, just for you.
You two seem to have a good relationship with Guji-ai. Please, put in a good word for me. You have to convince her to help my brother. Here's what happened. My name is Kato Yohei, and my brother is Kato Shingo. All he's ever wanted is to become a swordmaster, so he once asked Sensei Domon of the Meikyo Shisui art to take him on as a disciple. Domon turned him away, took one look at him and said he didn't have what it takes to train in the art of the sword. But my brother wasn't about to resign himself to defeat. He trained every day as hard as he could, and finally proved himself by defeating one of Domon's best disciples in a duel recently. But since his victory, he's been acting extremely strange. It's like he's become a completely different person. The doctors can't find anything wrong with him, so I'm betting it must be the work of an evil spirit. That's why I'm here, begging for Guji-ai's help.
You know, there really aren't as many evil spirits lurking around as you seem to think. Your brother achieved the goal he'd been striving toward for as long as he can remember, and now it's gone. It's only natural that he feels a little empty and lost while he's trying to find a new direction. If it were me, I'd just leave him be for a couple of days. He'll recover on his own soon enough.
No, Lady Guji. If you saw him for yourself, you'd know. I guarantee you, he's not acting like someone who feels empty and lost.
Oh, all right. Then tell me, when did your brother spar with Domon's disciple?
About 5 days ago.
5 days ago, you say?
Yes, Lady Guji. That's a long time for him to be acting up like this. I'm really worried about him. Our greatest wish is to one day found our own school, just like Domon. We can't jeopardize that dream now.
Wait a minute, now I'm a little confused. Are you here to save your brother, or are you here to make your dreams of founding a martial arts school come true?
Well, they're kinda two sides of the same coin, aren't they?
Whatever. Let me ask you this. Have you heard of any interesting new rumors lately? If so, I'd love to hear about them.
What? Rumors? I haven't heard anything.
Oh dear. Well, that's too bad.
Lady Guji, please stop changing the subject. This is someone's life we're talking about here. Please, you've gotta help me.
Miko, he seems really desperate. His thing with his brother sounds really bad. Come on, you should help him.
Okay, fine. Then it's decided.
Yay, Miko! So you're gonna help him?
Kato, whatever your name was, these two guests are trusted acquaintances of mine, and in fact, they are experts in resolving all manner of strange and supernatural phenomena. Exorcisms and that sort of thing are all in a day's work for them.
Yeah! Wait a sec!
Really?
Is that hesitation that I detect in your voice? So let me get this straight. You come begging to me for help, I actually recommend someone for the job, then suddenly you start doubting me?
Not at all, never. Whatever Lady Guji says, I trust wholeheartedly. Thank you, too, for your willingness to help. Please follow me.
No, hold on a hot second, Miko! We may be a lot of things, but we ain't exorcists!
Don't worry. If he wants an exorcism, just grab a handful of salt and mutter some mumbo-jumbo while you're sprinkling it around. It's a common trope in light novels, right? You just have to have a bit of bravado. As soon as the protagonist gains self-confidence, everything else just magically falls into place. Well, you were the ones who seemed concerned about his situation. Don't you think it would be a little unfair to make me do all the work? Besides, we both know you wouldn't be here at the Grand Narukami Shrine unless you had a request for me too. This is an opportunity to demonstrate that you come in good faith.
This feels all wrong! But you technically have a point, so...
All right, let's go. Don't worry now, I'll be coming along too.
Okay, let's follow Yohei and go visit his brother. What is going on here? Granted, you can never be quite sure what's going on in Miko's mind, but she seems even more disinterested than usual in Yohei's situation. Well, a life's at stake here, so it looks like we'll have to deal with that first before we'll get the chance to ask her about the incantation stuff.
We're way behind schedule.
How strange. My brother's been meditating here pretty much constantly over the past few days, but now he's gone.
Meditating?
Yeah, it's something that he suddenly started doing after defeating Domon's disciple. He just sits there alone, talking to himself. It's pretty disturbing, actually. But that's not important right now. Where the heck could he have gone in his current state?
This does pose a bit of a problem. If we can't find your brother, well, we can't perform an exorcism with nothing to exorcise, can we? Kato, whatever your name was, given the circumstances, why don't you start by going to find your brother, and also picking up a handful of salt on your way? We'll need to use it during the exorcism.
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm on it.
Miko, what about us? Shouldn't we help look for his brother too?
No need. While What's-His-Face is handling that, we'll take a walk around and ask people what they know about the two brothers. Maybe we'll find out some amusing details.
About the Kato brothers.
Oh, are you debt collectors? Yohei said to tell you not to worry. He'll be able to pay you back as soon as he has enrolled a few disciples.
Huh? Debt collectors? No, we're not here for anything like that. But, it sounds like Yohei and Shingo have gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle.
Well, yes. I don't think there's any disputing that. Those two don't have an ounce of dedication between them. They just hop between ideas and won't stick to anything.
Huh? But Yohei said his brother has always wanted to become a sword master, and even asked Domon to be his sensei.
That's true, yes. Shingo begged Domon to take him on, and eventually, he finally relented. But even after convincing a renowned sensei to give him a chance, he was the same as ever, bumming around in class instead of focusing on his training. In the end, Domon had had enough and kicked him out. But Shingo was resentful about it. He blamed Domon for not seeing his potential, and even declared that he would challenge a disciple of Domon to a duel.
Wait, what? That's not what we heard.
Oh, how interesting. We heard a slightly different version. My brother wasn't about to resign himself to defeat. He trained every day as hard as he could and finally proved himself by defeating one of Domon's best disciples in a duel recently.
Yohei said that? That Shingo trained hard. That's ridiculous. He just lay there cussing to high heaven all day every day. Some training regimen that is. Yohei did tell me about Shingo winning the fight, but I took it with a grain of salt. You can ask Kenji at the village entrance more about that. He always has reliable information.
Oh, you mean Shingo and Yohei?
Yeah, we heard that Shingo defeated an apprentice of Domon's recently. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Wait, so are you here because you heard they're starting their own school and you're looking to sign up?
We're not here to sign up, but we would like to hear more details about the fight.
Well, you've come to the right person. I actually went to watch it. I thought it was a joke when I first heard that Shingo was going to challenge a disciple of the Meikyo Shisui art. But when he drew his sword, he became a whole different person. The way he handled his blade, it was like flowing water, mesmerizing to watch. Domon's disciple is no pushover, but he was absolutely no match for Shingo.
Is Shingo really that strong?
Yep, he seemed pretty euphoric after winning the duel too. He was celebrating very vocally, saying something like, "What a duel. I haven't felt this good in a long time."
Any other details to share? We've heard that Shingo has been behaving rather out of character since then.
I'd definitely say that he has more energy than he used to. In the past, he never used to do much except lie around sunbathing all day. But just yesterday, for example, I saw him cutting down trees for the village head. In the space of one afternoon, he did what most people couldn't finish in 3 days. Not only that, but he managed to fell a lavender melon tree with just one kick.
Quite impressive.
Things got weird after that, though. The village head brought out some tofu for him, and he just flipped out. He shouted, "What is that stuff? Keep that away from me!" and then ran off.
Lady Guji, esteemed exorcists, finally I found you. I found my brother. He's at the waterfall, and I've got the salt you asked for, too. Come on, let's go!
As much as I'd prefer to stay and hear some more delicious details, I suppose we'd better be going now that he has been found.
Next on the agenda.
Look up.
So this is Yohei's brother. Whoa. He's meditating while sitting in a waterfall. That's pretty wild. Listen, he's talking to himself.
Woohoo! How's that? Can you feel it? Can you feel the feeling of manliness? Found your own school? Ha! So shallow. How can a manly man aspire to something so lame? Please, spare me. Spare me. I can't feel the manliness. I can't even feel the cold anymore. I can't take any more. I'm gonna die. Yohei. Yohei! Save me! Save me!
Did you hear that? All the nonsense aside, he's going for help!
Huh? Who goes there?
He stood up! And now he's coming this way!
No, don't come any closer. Help!
What do we do? Miko, think of something!
Oh, poor thing. Yohei, your brother's life is hanging in the balance, and he's using his final breaths to call on you for help. Whatever shall we do?
Well, how should I know?
The way it looks to me is that Shingo feels terribly resentful to you about something. Would you mind telling me what that's all about?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
You don't know? But surely you should have more insight than anyone else into how your brother came to be this way? Yohei, I suggest you think very carefully before you open your mouth again. This is a life or death situation. Your brother is your closest relative. You must have noticed straight away when he started acting out of character. And yet, 5 whole days pass before it occurs to you to come and seek help from me. You really expect me not to notice the gaping holes in your story?
But I...
As you wish. It's fine by me if you don't want to tell the truth. But after Shingo dies, you'll be next. It's futile trying to escape. Anywhere in the world you run to, it will be right behind your back. After all, you did summon it together.
Ah! All right, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. My brother and I used a wishing incantation. We made a wish. Yes, that's it. The one that's all the rage right now. You just have to recite an incantation at midnight and your wish will be granted. Just like the book described, we drew the magic symbol, stepped inside it barefoot at midnight, said the incantation, and lo and behold, spheres of light appeared all around us. After my brother wished to become a swordmaster, it really worked. Out of nowhere, he suddenly had these amazing sword skills, but his whole personality changed too. Because I was worried that if he goes back to normal, he'll lose his skills with the sword. If that happens, it'd ruin our plans to start a martial arts school, and we'd be back to being poor. I just wanted to keep this under wraps until we'd managed to get the dojo set up and paid off our debts.
So then, why'd you go to the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Well, 'cause with the way he's acting now, I was worried that rumors might start spreading that he's gotten involved in the occult arts or something, and then no one would want to sign up as his disciple. So I was thinking that maybe Lady Guji might have a way to get my brother back to normal, but let him keep his sword skills?
My, look at you with your ingenious schemes. Stop deluding yourself. These newfound sword skills are not his. They belong to the spirit that has possessed him.
You're right. We were wrong to do what we did. We had this coming.
All All right, then. Your turn now, my little friend. Toss the salt, and then draw your sword.
What is that?
It's the spirit!
See that? That's what you summoned. And look, now that Shingo's no use, it's coming straight for you.
Save me! Save me!
Miko! He fainted! What do we do now?
We do nothing. But you, little one, just a quick fight and this will all be over.
Who's this? Ah, a fellow swordmaster. Come on, fight me!
He's coming! Be careful! No touching! Nice and spicy!
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds... Gather! This is order.
This will do it, though.
That was great! Excellent! Whoop! What a rush! I haven't felt this great in a long, long time.
He disappeared! But he looked pretty content at the end there. Huh. Well, Paimon sure is confused. Do you know what that was all about?
We can talk about it later. They're about to wake up.
What am I doing here? Yohei? Yohei, is that you?
Shingo, are you alright?
Yohei, I had the weirdest dream. I dreamed that I wasn't a useless loser with a sword anymore. I even beat one of Domon's disciples. I thought we could finally open a dojo of our own now. But then I realized I couldn't control my own body. And there was this voice in my ear talking to me constantly. I was terrified and I wanted to take control of my body back, but I couldn't. And the voice kept talking about manliness.
Shingo, we shouldn't have made that wish. We summoned a spirit and it possessed you.
Yes, and had we not come to your rescue, your life would have been over before too much longer. Then the spirit would have haunted your brother until he died of fatigue too.
Thank you, Lady Guji. And thank you for your assistance, exorcism experts.
All right, take him to get some rest. He's very weak right now, having been possessed for quite a few days. He will experience a high fever, but it won't be fatal. Remember, this is the price you pay. At this point, I would normally lecture you on the dire consequences of using occult methods to obtain power that does not belong to you. But I think you get the picture now, don't you?
Yes, we understand now. We won't do it ever again.
Thank you, Lady Guji. Thank you, exorcists. We'll be on our way then. Come on, Shingo.
Miko, would they really have lost their lives if we hadn't gotten involved? And if so, why the heck were you so reluctant to help out?
They would have been fine. I had to scare them a little, though. Otherwise, I hardly think these two lazy rascals would have learned their lesson.
So, what was it that possessed Shingo?
You saw it all for yourselves. I'm sure you can figure out what kind of spirit had possessed him, can't you?
Ah! Paimon's got it. It was an Oni.
Correct. Although it possessed Shingo, it didn't have any ill intentions. As a matter of fact, it actually seemed like it was trying to train Shingo to become bolder.
Huh. Fair enough. But it seems like it had the opposite effect.
Tossing salt caused it to temporarily leave Shingo's body. Then, you exhausted its strength by fighting it, so it disappeared. Even if we'd done nothing at all, Shingo would have eventually become too weak for his body to host the spirit, and it would have left of its own accord. Of course, it would have been more stressful for Shingo and Yohei that way. Still, the experience may ultimately have been more effective than me scaring them into submission with a little exaggeration.
Whew. Well, the main thing is that nobody got hurt.
All right, seems like we've wrapped up everything here. Come on, off we go.
Hold on, Miko. You say everything's wrapped up, but are you sure about that?
You mean you disagree? Oh, you mean that they got the incantation from that book. Yes, I know the one.
Actually, that book's the whole reason we came looking for you at the shrine today. Incantations seem really popular right now.
Human beings don't have powers like us yokai. It's quite understandable for them to be interested in incantations to summon the supernatural.
That's not the point. The problem is that the incantations in the book are actually capable of summoning spirits and stuff, and loads of people are trying it.
Even then, humans only have so much strength. Even if they do successfully summon a spirit with the incantation, it won't stay with them for very long. I really wouldn't fret about it.
But who wrote this book, and why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? What do you think, Traveler? You're right. Big events in the light novel market should be at the center of her attention, surely. But she doesn't seem to care about this book at all.
Lady Yai, I finally found you.
Kuroda, what are you doing here?
I'm here to report on Yai Publishing House's sales for the last month. All the numbers are here. Please, take a look.
Let me see. What? We're losing market share?
Yes. Overall bestseller, reader's favorite, and trending ranking. We're being beaten in all categories. One book is topping the charts. It's called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits.
Both of you, back here now!
Miko? What is it? You have a really scary look on your face right now.
Things just got serious. A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits is an all-round hit, summarily beating the novels of the Yai Publishing House by every analysis. Just what is that supposed to mean? I worked extremely hard to promote our latest featured work, and now a rival book comes out of nowhere and steals our thunder. If this isn't the very definition of intolerable, I don't know what is. I have to come up with a counterplan, and you are going to help me.
Huh? How is this our problem all of a sudden?
Paimon, please. Who wrote this book and why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? Oh, am I to take it that the safety of the people of Inazuma isn't so important in your eyes after all?
Wait, what just happened? Again, you technically have a point, but this feels all wrong.
Nothing's wrong, okay? Come on. We're going to war. I'm going to head back and make some preparations. Meet me outside the Yai Publishing House.
So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the Yai Publishing House.
Oh, Paimon knows! Combine the reputation of the Yai Publishing House with the status of Guji Yai and tell everyone that the incantations in that book are dangerous!
Oh, wow. Your first guess and you got it absolutely wrong.
Yeah! Wait! Seriously? That wasn't it?
A first-hand guide to summoning spirits is the hottest light novel right now. If we did as you suggested, we would effectively be advertising to everyone that the incantations are real. In bending over backwards trying to warn everyone about the dangers, all we would accomplish is to create more curious readers ready to try them out. Also, sales for the book would only increase further.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh, how about we confiscate all the copies?
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower and resources such an operation would require, going to such lengths over a light novel would be extremely disruptive to the lives of Inazumans.
But that means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've been thinking. I've read a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. It has many other good qualities besides the incantations alone. The book contains many ancient kaidan, or tales of the supernatural, and is written in a very engaging way. That is why the book has become so popular. I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market. That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing. So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel. Smash our rivals' sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Yai Miko wages war. Incidentally, this will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Wait, Miko, so you want us to write a novel?
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. But let's not forget that I am the chief editor of the Yai Publishing House. I have my ways. I did say this is what we're going to do. I trust that the word teamwork is in your vocabulary. Anyway, there is a writer submission event going on at the moment. Start by talking to readers and finding out what they're into. When you have an idea of what the current trends are, come back and see me. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
We're way behind schedule.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original core concept and good storytelling. These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only recent book worth mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Not only is it a good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
The key to a successful light novel is having good illustrations. When to use illustrations, what they should contain, and which artist you should commission for them. These are all key things to bear in mind. Good illustrations can make up for bad writing. But on the flip side, a bad illustration can ruin your novel, even if you have the best story in the world. There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that. Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength. It reads well and everything, it's just a little slow-paced for me. By contrast, there's this popular light novel at the moment called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, where the protagonist is super strong right from the get-go. That's what I mean by cheap thrills. Action-packed right from page 1. The protagonist is a kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell our findings to Yae Miko.
There you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment, but all his past works have been very popular with young people. He's developed a distinct and enduringly popular style. Satomi is Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret. They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about my plan now?
Uh-huh. It definitely makes sense.
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences. All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example, we know we need an original core concept, but how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune, but to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Liyue. But that would make it a completely different genre than A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Is that gonna be a problem?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
Alright, let's start with Chapter 1 then. What are you thinking? Let's see what you got. After enrolling in the Mondstadt Academy, I found out that the young man sitting next to me in class was a total slacker. He said he was a bard, had a habit of playing his lyre in class, and always had of liquor on his person. But his true identity was actually the principal of the academy? What kind of plot is that?
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9.5. It just goes to show, you have to have an interesting character sitting in the back row by the window. The protagonist is a transfer student, new to the school, whose ordinary life is about to take a wild turn when they meet the ballad and alcohol-loving principal. Sounds interesting. Approved.
Paimon just does not see the appeal.
Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with Chapter 1. Let's move on to Chapter 2.
Huh? Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, Chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence. Writer's block. It's your arch-nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Sounds awful!
When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now, for the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going! Ooh! Does this mean your inspirations come back? The Liyue Academy has more student clubs than you can shake a stick at. And as the new kid on the block, the protagonist is the one they're all fighting over. There's the Culinary Club, the Architecture Club, the Funerary Club, even the Coconut Milk Research Club. But in the end, the protagonist chose to join the Rock and Roll Club. Taking a chance on their youthful dreams, 4 newcomers to the academy form a rock and roll band that really begins to take off. Paimon loves it!
I give it a 9.5. A classic tale of youth and friendship. It never gets old. I especially like the head of the club. Great character design. She really has rock and roll coursing through her veins. I can almost feel the heat from that fire in her soul. Approved.
Aw, yeah!
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Leave it to me, Lady Yae.
Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we? I can help with this one. We can use the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
When the Vision Hunt decree comes out of nowhere, the protagonist joins the Resistance, starting out as an ordinary rank-and-file soldier. Find out how the protagonist goes on to make great contributions to the war effort, become best friends with the Resistance General, and get to know the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, working together with everyone to finally secure a grand victory for the Resistance. Huh. It's surprisingly normal.
I think it's rather good. A lot of people still like the classic hero's journey, from ordinary soldier to great leader, a fresh take on a timeless classic. One thing, though. We'll need to rewrite the part about me giving you the Omamori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should do the trick.
Whoa. So we're really going head-to-head with our rival on this one, huh?
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yae Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
There's the way I like teleport working. Like I was inside a domain. It saves one damn loading screen, and it's good. Nice.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letters, and turns down every promotional opportunity she can. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yae Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Next on the agenda... Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry? Let me see. The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler by Thousand Hands.
What a strange pen name. Definitely your doing. Having been around you so much recently, Paimon's slowly starting to understand your unique tastes.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very descriptive pen name?
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting a little nervous now. Do you really think this is gonna work?
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly how a light novelist should be.
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3 days for the results. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
And that's only 2 days. I need one more. Okay, how do I get more of them to try stupid wishes? Or pools or whatever. Takes fucking forever.
Ah, you've all finally made it. Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Woohoo! That's great!
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
Oh yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at Midnight, and your wish will come true! Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus! But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
Eh? There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah, if we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book. Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel!" After that, he lost consciousness.
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So what are we supposed to do?
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest itself. And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role. Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
Some of these seem way too long. Okay, 16. This is too bad. I don't like those either. Next. 15. That one.
We're way behind schedule.
Miko, what is this place?
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet with a certain elusive author. This is the place where we are most likely to succeed in summoning the spirit.
Really? But it feels so eerie here.
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits of the deceased here. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Aren't you excited?
Paimon's heart is pounding, but Paimon's pretty sure it's not because of excitement.
Come on, in we go.
Hey, wait up! Ooh, Paimon's scared. Stay close by, okay? Don't leave Paimon all alone. What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Probably a scene from ancient Inazuma.
It's a good piece of artwork and all, but it's also kinda eerie. So it's a bit scary. Looks like the artist signed their name. Rakusai? It's not very clear.
Let's go inside and take a look.
Access denied. Born of ice and...
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn! Stabilize.
Emerge. Right now.
Eat this!
No touching.
Cut down. Like this.
Next on the agenda...
Wow, this place is huge! Hey, is that a mirror? There's a really weird-looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah, I see. Huh. This setup is quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. All right, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move.
Boba, get them!
Right here.
Access denied.
Emerge. Right here.
Wind Strider.
Out of the frying pan!
Gather. Ready. Order guide you. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call. Will end you. Cut down. You win this battle.
I don't.
Next on the agenda.
I should be going first. There was another path we could have went.
Another today.
Nice and spicy.
More.
Time to go.
Get the fire here.
So that just goes back over there. What is it? That just goes back this way. Everything just loops around. What's this?
No touching. Emerge.
Solidify. One with nature.
Born of ice and
Fall
frost.
before me. Cut down. Like this.
Yeah, can you fuck off, game? I hate this no space shit. And I also hate this, because right there, I want it short, but then it puts me all the way to the fucking bottom, and then I gotta go back. It's dumb. Sort should keep me at the top, not the bottom. Stupid. Is that actually everything? Feels like I'm missing something. But yeah, there's a chest right there. How do I get over there? Whatever.
Next on the agenda.
Wait, so I needed the... Am I supposed to get on there right now? I don't...
Stabilize. Into the wind. You're open.
Yeah, don't do your stupid crap, you poor idiot.
Gooba, get them.
That's not what I wanted. I'm also not really sure. I'm supposed to be standing on it. Wait, is that all of them already? No. I need that one. How do I do that one again? I gotta go down. It's just so much random crap. Another part that's about to have presentation kind of a neat room. Thing that's about to happen. Venom.
Whoa. It's the painting we just saw. It's turning this way along with the whole wall. It's getting eerier and scarier. What is this place?
Okay. Next, I will show you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means I'll be able to skip many of the more tedious steps. The murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it. You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here. Yes. The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that Oni samurai spirit. After leaving the host's body, he was only able to maintain his form for a very short time before disappearing.
Are we positive that summoning a spirit to possess the traveler isn't gonna have any lasting negative consequences?
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little jealous. I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't you worry now, it'll be over soon. Just think of it like having a dream. Sit on the chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. But try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
It's like she's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon seeing things? Did the painting just move?
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to have some intense thoughts going through your head. A wish, for example. Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Anyone?
Probably something to do with writing?
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me help add a little realism to the equation. The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible. When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
The painting is moving again! What the...
I never thought the day would come when I'd be summoned using my own ritual. Getting a taste of my own medicine. What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you all? Why is everyone wishing for help with their writing? Are novels so popular in this day and age?
We got you! So you were the one who wrote A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh? What's your game here?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I? You ask me what my game is here? Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world and plunge all of Inazuma into a brutal, bloody war!
What? Paimon knew it! You had an evil plan all along!
Oh, did you now? then how naive of you to let me possess this body so easily. I sense, yes, great power within her. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way!
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta stop him!
It is futile. You shall never wake her again. This body now belongs to me!
Hey! Come on, wake up! Don't let him take your mind! Miko, think of something! Miko! Miko! You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit. You caught on so quickly. Too perfect.
Well, you made the face enough times that I couldn't exactly miss the hint. This is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sidelines of a good spectacle, are you? Always got to dive in and fan the flames, huh? You mischievous little kitsune, you. Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
You were having plenty of fun playing the bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Rakusai? Miko, you guys know each other?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, Urakusai. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's memory.
Memory? But isn't he a spirit?
Ah, spirits, memories. They're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the ley lines.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories, of course there are going to be yokai memories too. In life, yokai possess supernatural powers, and even when they are a shadow of their former selves from a bygone era, they still have the ability to control whether they are visible or not. Typically, yokai memories survive longer in the world than those of humans.
Indeed, indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard someone yelling, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." It piqued my curiosity, so I popped inside his body and wrote a novel for him.
So that's how it happened. But why did you include a summoning incantation in the novel?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune, no. I was a mighty and powerful Daiyoko. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies at will like I can. But with this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world for a couple of days. Anything they're still itching to do, they can go and get it done.
But...
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes is likely to be a great disturbance to the humans.
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? Oh, yes. And they might have a fever or whatever. But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out and shape their fate with their own two hands, given that they're not born blessed with the same powers that we enjoy. As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's quite right that they learn their lesson eventually. So when you think about it, we're actually doing the humans a big favor. Miko, you agree, don't you?
Yes, that's what I thought too.
All right then. You finally convinced Paimon. You guys were right.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most powerful yokai out there.
Not only that, Irakusai, but my latest work has beaten that book you wrote, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, to become the most popular in Inazuma.
Of course. You were never one to make extra work for yourself where you can help it. And yet you went to all these lengths to find my painting room, and even took the trouble to summon me. I knew you must have some ulterior motive. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around and share stories. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
Ha! I finally get to hear you say it centuries later. Ooh, I must say it feels good.
I remember when you were just a little girl, always hanging off my shoulders. A few 100 years later, and you're all grown up.
Oh, Urakusai, how much time do you have left?
Not much. That goes for all of us, actually. We've all got to go back where we came from in the end. Everyone's quite content in many ways, but they still can't help but ask, are we ever going to have another Hyakyako?
Don't you worry about that, Urakusai. Arrangements are being made. When my bell rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Miko, it's been nice catching up, but I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on my way now.
All right. Goodbye then, Urakusai.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders. And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle, given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. And I would personally be hounding you over your next installment.
He disappeared. Are you awake? How are you feeling?
Are you all there? Here, like last time, repeat after me. Oh, you beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, What was it like? Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Rakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only fair that we make sure to deliver on what they're all hoping for. Yes, though they only represent a tiny proportion of the memories in the ley lines, it will still be quite a sight to behold when the time comes. Since you've come this far, why don't you do one last thing for me, I'll need your help with the ritual.
You cannot be serious, Miko! After all that, you still have more errands for us? Huh! You guys teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think Paimon's gonna do anything you ask for, think again!
Aw, come on. I'm really only asking you to finish what you started. Besides, your paychecks are still in my hands.
Paimon's paycheck? Well, there's no way out now. We're in too deep.
Did I just mute and unmute? It was weird. I don't know. That was was an interesting little part. This part's kind of interesting too.
We're way behind schedule.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice of you to join me. You're right on time, too.
As if we had a choice. We just want our paychecks. So, Miko, what exactly do we have to do to make this Hyakyako happen? Also, to be clear, we actually have no idea what it even means.
It might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakyako is just a gathering of the yokai. Back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start soaring into the sky with their yokai powers. There were so many of them that their silhouettes would block out the moon. But now, the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak. They are no longer able to fly. So I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the wandering memories together in one place. When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Once their energy is spent, they will be satisfied and return to where they belong. All the preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance. Remember the incantation and the mention of moonless night that I added to our novel?
Oh, yeah! Something about reciting the secret spells of Lady Kitsune on a moonless night.
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting incantation at all. It's a spell to help calm the ley line memories. When that time comes, let's all pitch in and help send them on their way. I will start the ritual preparations shortly, and at that time, I need you to do two things. First, tell the Shrine Maidens to leave the mountain. During the Hyakyako, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Having the Shrine Maidens leave avoids the bothersome issue of someone potentially getting possessed. After that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. I need you at the foot of Mount Yogo during this part to keep an eye on nearby monster activity. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat, but when their energy is concentrated, it is likely to disturb the monsters. They may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need you to fend them off so that that doesn't happen.
Alright, got it. Then what?
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view of the yokai, I wouldn't say no.
Okay, let's get going!
Descend the mountain? Are those Lady Kuji's orders?
Yep, Miko said the ritual she's gonna perform soon might pose a physical danger to you all.
I see. I'll evacuate everyone right away. What about you?
We'll be taking care of a couple other things for her. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back and do the ritual together.
It seems like Lady Kuji places great trust in you. Lady Kuji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence when she's conducted rituals like this in the past. Thank you for helping with the ritual, and good luck.
Don't worry, we're much stronger than we look. Miko's about to start the ritual. Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain.
Okay, so where are they? That's the question. Wait, can I just teleport? Nope. And there's that spot.
Next on the agenda...
Forgot about that thing over there. The challenge. So, where...
These monsters look really riled up. Yep. Let's get rid of them as fast as we can. Then we can get back in time to see the yokai. All right, here they come.
Gather! This is order.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Access denied.
You're toast!
Into the wind. The wind knows me.
Born of ice and frost.
Time to go. Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
No touching.
Stabilize.
There's so many of them! Come on, you can do it!
Born of ice and frost.
Show me what you've got! Finally, don't hold back. I need to train harder.
Alright, that's the last of the monsters. How far along do you think the ritual is? Let's head back to the Grand Narukami Shrine and take a look. So many! They're everywhere! Huh?
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time. Come with me. You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just, Hyman's never seen anything like this before. Whoa, they've really blocked out the moon!
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it? But I know them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair. Alas, their time is short. It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me? O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
The book says, recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight. and our wishes will come true.
Oh, Hakushin, cause of this enchantment.
I perform this rite to be a guiding light. Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Murakusai, you asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course. Just as I thought. The ritual went very smoothly. Thank you both. Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, No. Honestly, you two.
Miko...
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
Sure, no problem. A meal it is.
Okay. Well, see you soon then.
What do you mean, pointed time? What's that supposed to be? As far as I know, oh, come on. The following day, so I really gotta wait. I hate when that happens. It just turned at this day, and now they want me to pretty much skip that whole day. I wonder how much I missed with that stupid skip earlier at the book place. I think there was some extra dialogue I probably missed.
Today is the day we agreed to treat Miko to a meal. The venue is Uyu Restaurant. Let's go!
Add Ast...
Wait is unbearable. How is the next chapter of the miraculous adventures of the Traveler not released yet?
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night. It just seemed to form out of nowhere.
But then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that book.
Yeah. I guess light novels are just fiction after all, huh?
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the miraculous adventures of the Traveler will remain an interesting series for a long time to come.
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here. Maybe she went inside already. Let's head in and look for her.
Ah, my little friends. There you are.
Miko, what is this? You started eating without us?
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake, all for absolutely free? Oh, I just couldn't wait any longer. Ah, boss, see these two faces here? Remember them. They're the ones picking up the bill later.
Alrighty.
What's gotten into you? Come on, sit yourselves down. You have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Seirai Island. They shipped it to Inazuma overnight, and it was still alive right up until I ordered it. Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering the whole price spectrum.
Miko! You are outrageous! Last time we were here working on the novel, all you ordered for us was the plainest kushikatsu!
Strange. I remember no such thing. Oh, so what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything short of lavishly?
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive! Aren't you afraid we won't be able to afford it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it. They're still printing your light novel by the batch, you know. You have quite the generous payment due.
What? Oh, darn it! She tricked us into this! Miko was after our Mora from the very beginning!
Oh, the looks on your faces right now. Too perfect. Oh, by the way, since nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, novels with incantations are no longer in vogue. So you'll have to come up with something new for the next chapter of The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler. The deadline is looming. I'm counting on you.
Things in Sumeru have settled down now. Paimon bets people will be coming up with new and interesting ideas at this time. How about we take a walk around Sumeru City and see if anyone needs our help? Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that it just might pay off.
Of course, it was the other very...
Huh? There's a new bulletin board here, and it has pictures of fungi on it. Fungi are monsters! We can't let this go ahead! It's way too dangerous! Let's go check out the tournament. If it's as dangerous as it sounds, at least we'll be there to stop things from getting too out of control.
It's actually kind of why I actually went there, because I knew that's where I was supposed to go again, but that was one step too early.
Welcome, contestants, to the Nilud Pala Cup Beast Tamers Tournament. I am Cautilia, a senior Immorta researcher and the organizer of today's tournament. I'm sure you're probably all very intrigued by the idea of fighting fungi and excited at the prospect of our amazing prizes. But at the same time, you may well have some concerns about the safety of this tournament. Worry not, the Wisdom Orb we've developed exclusively for this event makes use of Immorta's most advanced intellectual boost technology. It is absolutely reliable and safe. So please cast your reservations aside and enter the tournament with confidence. Also, it gives me great pleasure to announce that this event is sponsored by Mr. Elhingen, a renowned businessman from Fontaine who has generously provided a grand total of 60 million mora for our prize fund. And if anyone is able to prove themselves capable of carrying out Mr. Elhingen's philosophy by passing the ultimate trial, he will be willing to give them his entire fortune. The only other condition is that the winner must agree to carry on Mr. Elhingen's legacy by hosting the Nilut Pala Cup Beast Tamers tournament in the future.
Whoa! Paimon can't believe that rich guy threw 60 million mora at this event. Just like that. And what was all that about inheriting his entire fortune if you promised to keep his beast taming tournament going? Also, hosted by an academia scholar, huh? Pretty official. Might be a little inappropriate if we just barged in and tried to shut it down. So, why don't we enter the tournament and see if this wisdom orb thingy actually works? No, that's not it. It's just, now that everything in Sumeru has finally settled down, don't you think it'd be a little unfair to Nahida if we keep picking trouble with the academia? And he sounded really confident. Paimon's curious about how this mysterious fungi taming device works. Although they've caused this trouble in the past, the fungi aren't just aggressive monsters, right? They're more like wild animals with bad tempers. Since there's no longer any safety concerns, we don't need to worry. Maybe we can even try becoming friends with the fungi. Paimon thinks that would be fun. Besides, if we do well in the tournament, we'll be able to earn some extra mora. There are basically no drawbacks. Yep, that's the way we roll. Looks like we sign up over there. Come on, let's grab a wisdom orb and enter the tournament. Huh? Looks like the people ahead of us are still signing up. Let's wait our turn.
Golden Comet and Silver Companion. So, you're competing too?
Huh? You know us? But what's with those names? We've never heard them before.
You're a tough duo if the posters are to be believed. Some mercenaries who managed to escape from you painted your portraits, warning others to avoid messing with you at all costs.
Paimon doesn't know whether to be flattered or to try and explain that we aren't as scary as the rumors suggest.
Unfortunately, the rules of this tournament state that beast tamers aren't allowed to use their weapons, or even fight each other directly. Your impeccable combat skills won't be any use to you here. The tournament is about capturing fungi, training them, and commanding them in combat. There's no way of knowing whether commanding fungi is a skill you'll be able to master in time.
That's true. We've never captured a fungus before and wouldn't know anything about how to get them to fight. Wait a second! You don't look like a staff member! What are you lecturing us for? Who are you anyway?
The name's Sania. I used to work for the Eremites, taming grumpy sumpter beasts. Ended up with a reputation for being a beast tamer, so they got me involved with testing the wisdom orb early on. Anyway, my name ain't worth remembering. I'm just an illiterate nobody. All I'm good for is doing odd jobs for Eremite mercs. Just think of me as another contestant. I do have a lot of experience taming beasts, though. Want me to teach you? You guys are worth me getting to know, as allies or opponents. 'Cause either way, you can get rid of some obstacles for me in this competition. Of course, I'd prefer allies if possible.
Well, that was blunt, but also quite honest. It's definitely better to have an expert teach us than figure everything out on our own, right? What do you think? Should we take her up on her offer?
All right then. Take this wisdom orb and let's go catch some fungi at the designated area.
She gets right to the point, doesn't she?
This is where you'll capture your fungi. The fungi in this area are highly compatible with the wisdom orb, and they're ideal for training and competing with. The wisdom orb can capture and store fungi. It also serves as a controller. I recommend giving each fungus a code name to make commanding them easier. For example, this one next to me is Pyro 1, which means Pyrofungus number 1.
You just go off their elements and then number them? Seems kind of boring to Paimon. This fungus looks pretty lively. Why don't we call it Bouncy Happy Shroom?
Thanks, but no thanks. I've got my own way of naming them, and I'm gonna stick with it. It's simple, straightforward. It helps me with managing them.
Yeah, you're probably used to calling it Pyro 1 anyway. All right, we'll stop. But wait until you hear the great names we come up with for our fungi. You might want to reconsider then.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna try something. You know, maybe this would help.
Wait for my signal.
Won't have to actively do anything and just chase them and they get hit. Let's see. I did that. What do I need now? That's 100. I'll do that for 200. Okay, why did I do that? I guess I could see. Wait, what? Obtain permission to go through mini door. What was that one? I don't even know what some of these were anymore. I don't even remember what half of these were. There's that one. It's when it turns into this brown ball and you just hit it with pyro. As it lands or before it jumps again, I don't remember. It just happened randomly when I didn't want to do. And that thing I wanted was the inventory. Yeah, I don't care about your evil affairs or whatever. The namings, but one of them's so pointless. One of them's forced to be a stupid name.
Stand with me!
You are really good. Whatever. Damn, what are you fucking doing? Fly away. See, don't even have a choice. And if you say deny, decide later, you're still forced to pick that damn name.
Paimon's a fungi naming expert. Every one of these will sound really cool when you call them out in the arena. The round hat on this little guy's head kinda looks like a drum, don't you think? The first thing that came to Paimon's mind when she saw it was, if you hit it on the head, it's definitely gonna go bing bong. How does the name Bongo Head sound? But look how happy it looks. That means it likes the name. Okay then, Bongo Head it is. Aw, Bongo Head's just like a little puppy. Paimon's never seen this side of a fungus before. From now on, we need to look out for each other, Bongo Head. Okay, let's go catch some more fungi and make a team for Bongo Head.
Okay, that's not gonna work. I have to switch again.
All right, amuse me.
I also want to switch back to...
There are still so many places for us to explore. Hey!
Apparently I missed one. Actually, there was even more on the other side. I know one. Okay, not even that close. Really, game? Now, where are we going again? Of course, not gonna let me teleport.
I see everything.
Right here.
Great, you've now collected all 4 fungi. The next step is to use the floral jelly provided by the organizers to boost your fungi's abilities. That way, they'll be able to unleash powerful skills during combat.
Paimon can't believe we're making progress so quickly. It's all thanks to your help, Hania. All right, let's all return to the arena now. Huh? Look, someone's staggering along with a fungus running circles around her. Is she being attacked? She's collapsed! Let's go see what's doing? I can't go on too weak. Are you hurt? How bad is it?
Pyro 1, take it out!
Wait, it's not an enemy. It's my shroom buddy. I'm just a little too tired to walk right now, but I still need to find 3 more shroom buddies to qualify for the tournament.
You mean you're a contestant too?
I wasn't counting on running into other contestants here. Maybe this is the end of the road for me. Twirly Whirly on its own is no match for you. Look after Twirly Whirly for me. Take him with you to the top.
Hey, don't give up. It's not like we're a bunch of eremites trying to steal your fungi. Your shroom buddies. We're better than that. You should at least hang in there until we're in the arena, so we can compete against each other properly. Ania over here is a professional beast tamer, and despite knowing that we might be her fiercest competitors, she still gave us lots of help and advice.
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
State your name and mission! Golden Comet and Silver Companion shall gladly come to your aid!
Really? Then, could you please help me collect the rest of the 4 shroom buddies I need? Does this mean my luck is finally starting to change? My name is Layla. I'm just a student in the Ratawa's Darshan, so I don't have any impressive titles or anything. And my goal is to make it into the quarterfinals. If I can make it to the quarterfinals, I'll get to take my shroom buddies home and delegate some of my physical labor to them. Of course, I'll take good care of them too.
Oh yeah! Paimon read that in the rules somewhere. All quarterfinalists get to take home any fungi of their choice. But what do you mean physical labor? You're a student. Shouldn't you be busy with coursework and writing papers?
This is pretty embarrassing, but, so I must have some sort of congenital sleep disorder or something, 'cause I can never seem to get enough sleep, and I'm always really low on energy. Even the smallest amount of exercise makes me... Well, you saw me just now. I get so tired, I collapse from exhaustion. So when I said physical labor, I just meant basic stuff like moving books around or fetching things I need from the store.
You don't need to be embarrassed about that. It's totally normal. Paimon delegates chores to her all the time.
First she calls them buddies, then she talks about wanting to live with them? Ridiculous. She sounds just like Elhingen. Well, looks like you've mastered everything already and moved on to helping others. I'm delighted for you. I'll see you around. Good luck.
Huh? Why is Ania leaving all of a sudden? We haven't thanked you or Pyro 1 yet, Ania! Let's at least go get something to eat together!
What's wrong? That beast tamer, is she angry?
Probably not. She's pretty blunt and doesn't make a great first impression, but she's definitely not a bad person. Otherwise, why would she have helped us? Yeah, we'll see her again, and when we do, let's give her some gifts to show her our gratitude. In the meantime, let's follow her example by doing our best in the tournament, helping other contestants, and making sure Layla gets to compete.
Thank you so much. I'll try my best to contribute too. I don't want to be a burden to you guys.
Nicely done! Now that we put together Layla's team, she should be eligible to take part! Let's head back to the arena and confirm with them!
It's a lot of... That connects like 3 of them? I think that connects 3 points. I guess I've already marked it, but I didn't do anything with it. It's good, I don't care. I need to get on this.
Let Paimon see how the qualifying rounds are looking. Great! We're in a different group from Layla, so we won't have to compete against each other in the early stages of the competition!
Actually, I hope I don't have to fight you guys in the later stages either.
Oh? Hello there, little ones. Sure enough, you're at the center of the action once again. You two truly are like the main characters in your own light novel.
Miko! What are you doing here? Is Paimon hallucinating?
This tournament was advertised far and wide, including all the way over in Inazuma. They even handed out flyers in front of Yae Publishing House. Don't you think a tournament like this makes a perfect candidate for light novel treatment? Yae Publishing House is working on a bestseller that, if all goes to plan, will stay a bestseller for the next 50 years. The theme is friendship and rivalry, so we decided to bring our up-and-coming author Soka here to gather some inspiration. I, of course, need to ensure my writer's manuscripts are up to par, so I will be taking part in the tournament myself to get a little taste of what it's like. Here's my little partner in crime. Soka named it Blitzara. I think it's rather good. Very distinctive.
Who knew there'd be such a big turnout? Even Miko's here!
Soka, come say hi to the little ones. They're set to be some of the fiercest competition you face in the tournament. You should put them in your novel as major characters.
Yes, Chief Editor! For the sake of my readership, I won't back down. I'll beat you!
Yeah, just 'cause you're with Miko doesn't mean we'll go easy on you.
Ooh, yes. More of that. Do you feel that, Soka? Declaring a challenge to your archenemy in the making before the competition begins is a key plot device that helps build dramatic tension.
I wouldn't say I'm feeling that exactly. Just thinking about competing against Her Excellency's Hanamizaka tour confidant is making me so nervous. I'm losing my mind.
In that case, head back to the inn and capture your nervous breakdown in writing while it's still fresh. This'll make excellent source material, too.
She's terrifying, but she also seems really dedicated to her craft. I hope we can be friends.
And who is this softly spoken little lady?
She's our new friend, Layla! We met her while we were out capturing fungi. Layla's entering the tournament because she wants to take her trained fungi back home to live with her. Her goal is to make it to the quarterfinals.
Training fungi, and then domesticating them? How fascinating. You must be full of secrets. There's an intriguing story to be told here, no doubt. I'm Miko, a light novel editor. Purely out of personal interest, and right now what I'm most interested in is you. Nice to meet you. The pleasure is all mine.
I have no idea how to respond to that. Traveler, Paimon, I really appreciate all your help. But I want to get to know my 4 shroom buddies a little better and prepare for the qualifiers, so I'll go do some training now.
Don't push yourself too hard, Layla! You'll end up collapsing from exhaustion again! Miko, what are you doing scaring a new friend off like that?
Oh, am I really so terrifying? Well then, I'll simply have to talk to her again another time to clear things up. But that can wait. Judging from your expression, it seems like you have something you want to say to me, little one. I'm comforted to know that you didn't lose your heads amidst the hype, and you're not just in this to have some fun. Unfortunately, though, it appears that we're about to be interrupted.
Guji Yae, what an honor to finally meet you! We're so privileged that our tournament is your first destination in Sumeru.
Huh? Isn't that the organizer? And that super rich businessman is here too!
Goodness, I presume that the tournament is proceeding very smoothly indeed. Otherwise, how would the host and sponsor themselves have the time to spare to chat with contestants one-on-one?
How you jest, Guji Yae! Those such as your esteemed self deserve nothing short of the most lavish reception Sumeru has to offer. I see you've already had the chance to try out the Wisdom Orb. What are your thoughts on the future prospects of this technology? You know, with your blessing, it can be introduced into Inazuma, allowing you to swiftly resolve the situation of,
Right now, I am nothing but an ordinary editor-in-chief. I'm here to enjoy my vacation and gather some inspiration along the way. And if I can at all help it, I'd rather not concern myself with such weighty topics as the future fate of nascent technologies.
Don't be so pushy, Mr. Coutillion. Droning on about the Academia's business ambitions is hardly respectful to our honored guest, who has traveled all the way from the Land of Thunder to be here. Not to mention that Guji Yae is busy catching up with her friends. I dare say it was both unnecessary and discourteous to interrupt their conversation like this.
A most pertinent remonstration coming from you, Mr. Elhingen. You do conduct yourself in such an unobtrusive manner, much as you have in your entire career, quietly amassing an enormous fortune while remaining almost entirely unknown.
Why, to hear such high praise from the great Guji Yae is more prestige than I could ever hope for. Please, should you require anything at all, do not hesitate to seek my assistance. I will do everything within my ability to make your stay in Sumeru an enjoyable one. Also, to have the renowned traveler here at the tournament is an unexpected delight. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in action.
Miko, they're here to do business with you, right? Should you really be turning them away like this? Especially the rich guy? Paimon thinks working with him could have a lot of advantages for Yae Publishing House.
Promoting an entirely new event throughout all of Teyvat so rapidly would be an impossible feat for any ordinary businessman. I, for one, do not wish for Yae Publishing House to be the subordinate partner in a business relationship with him. Besides, the tournament has only just begun. Who knows whether it will go on to be a success? I want to focus on trying to enjoy myself, while keeping one eye open for potential liabilities. Fungi may look adorable, but they carry potent elemental energy inside their bodies. Letting one's guard down around these creatures would be an unwise move, don't you think?
So it wasn't just us. Yeah, we started out with some safety concerns about this event, but the wisdom orb seems pretty amazing. At least all the fungi we used it on have been very well behaved, like our bongo head here. Seems we don't need to be too nervous after all.
Oh, Paimon, you're just as carefree and enthusiastic as ever. Well, it's about time for me to get into character. As a contestant, I need to go and get ready for the tournament. See you in the qualifiers. Blitzara, say goodbye to our friends.
Coming here was a great idea! Look at us! Making new friends, bumping into Miko. Oh, this competition is shaping up to be a whole lot of fun! Come on, let's go get some floral jelly for Bongo Head's training, like Hania suggested.
Ah, the champions to be, here at long last. Come on now, use the floral jelly and awaken your fungi's true potential.
Champions to be? Thanks for the compliment. So you've heard about us too?
Of course. I was standing right next to you when you collected your wisdom orb. I couldn't find a convenient opportunity to introduce myself, as Hania was busy explaining the tournament to you. With an expert mentor like Hania, I'm sure you'll become excellent beast tamers in no time.
If even the staff are singing her praises, Hania must really know what she's doing. Well, all the more reason to give it our all.
Prison water bomb. So one of these is a little tricky, but I don't think it's too hard. Spore green. Oh wait, I can only do one copy. That means I need to copy. Yeah, I can't copy again. I should have remembered that. Let's see. I think I need to rotate this. And rotate that. Let's see, now I gotta do some rotating. 4 blues and 4 red. Actually, I think rotating would be better at the moment. Nope, I kinda did that wrong. I messed that up, can I? I don't know why I did that backwards. Wait, what? There's 2 copies. How am I supposed to... Damn it. This is so annoying. This is annoying. I'm doing too many switching like idiots. Oh yeah, this is just annoying. I'm doing too many fucking turns. I'm just gonna start over. I probably had it, but I missed up. Should have just went straight over. That had to be the way because it's the only way it gives you 3 of each. Anything else I don't think would work. Trying to think of the best way to go about doing this. Because I need to swap these 2, but... Damn, this is horrible. How the fuck do I do this again? This is horrible. Would you switch? You idiot. Switch! Piece of damn shit! What do you want from me? Try this one, but you're not letting me because you're a dumbass. Why don't you... Trying this one, dumbass, but you fucking switch. Dumbass little piece of shit. What does it mean, my number of moves? What is that supposed to mean? Seven steps? Did I do the... I don't think I did that. Oh, go fuck yourself. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Fuck you, game. Bite you an ass. Let's see. I'll try this again. Maybe this way. Maybe that way will work. Nope, I almost did that wrong. Happy now, fucking game? 7 moves my ass.
Bongohead and buddies should be able to fight at full power now. We still have some time before the qualifiers start. Maybe we should spend some more time training our fungi.
I'm just going through this again. I'll do the other one in a moment too, the other choice. That's a speed druid though. Because everything else just repeats. There's an auto pause right there. Another auto pause when it shouldn't happen, when there was just one. Damn it, I hate that. Just as bad as the other game. Was this the right one? Oh, that ain't gonna work. I hate this bottle ball, especially when I'm not actually quite paying attention. Really annoying. That's an 11. Or when that pop-up happens either. Wait, I thought I... Wait, ID, why is it not together? Let's see, come back. Yeah, I'm actually working on a mobile game at the same time. I should say I could do possibly 30 games at the same time if or 3 other games so forward at the same time, even though I can't really do anything unless it's auto. If I try to disappear and reappear. Alright, good. Turn it down. I'm probably gonna hopefully just do yesterday's and wait for later to do the rest. Like if I'm forced to do it, I'll do it. At least I can teleport to this. course. This should be open now, but I gotta awaken seek. Or 3 more. Wait. How many more are there? Oh, it's the floating ones and the pyro one. But that's not the same one. I'm probably gonna skip that though. Or at least return there. I've already did this at least once. Well, give me something and I'll grab it, dumbass game. You don't give me a no. It takes way too long to be able to really do anything. I mean it. Shield and the Hydra is going to be the most annoying. I don't want the healer. I want the Fungus. Go away. Go away, killer prick. Well, that. Big one yet? Yep, the big guy. It's still Electro types. Pyro, and that's another Anima. Hurry up, give me some more damn skill packs, idiot. Hurry up. Give me something to use, damn game. Did that just miss? I think it missed. Give me some more damn attack, stupid game. It's horrible. That took way too fucking long. Oh, there's somebody else. Where'd they come from? How many more? Were they there earlier? I don't remember there being another one. Let me check. Wait, what did I... Did I just save that for like an hour? I did not need to. Score 500. They're all awakened within 7 moves. I did even better. I did in 3 moves. I'm gonna worry about that later. I need to get off soon. Also, check that out one more time. I don't like seeing the red dot. And one more thing. I don't think I finished. Nope, I finished it. I think. Where's the challenges? Oh yeah, there it was. Which I don't really remember doing it. When did I do this last? Oh yeah, I had to do that. Yeah, I did that yesterday because I couldn't actually do this to the quest. Because I had to do... Do they tell us the enemy we're up against? So we actually have the match already. And what happens if we actually fail, which might be possible. What is this? Oh, you can configure it. But apparently all you need to do is get the currency. You don't consume the currency. It's just unlock criteria. You use the currency, and then you can still buy, as far as I remember, unless it's changed. Who are you? I'm gonna wait for all these pop-ups. Wait until the next morning for what? I guess I should probably do that too right now before I do it when I'm playing, when I'm not streaming. Okay, we done yet?
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
I I can just skip all that. Because I didn't... Okay, just how much dialogue is this? Okay, this is way too much. But then I gotta go the road all over again just because I missed something. I'll go back to auto though, until this will pop up in 3 lines. I just say when auto is way too fast. Or it just pauses. Now I gotta try it again for the other choice. I should have just let it play instead of repeat it like 3 times. What about 418 in here? What the hell happened there? I did not do that, you stupid game. Well, then I did something else stupid there, didn't I? That's about it. Then there's just... I might as well skip to the next time tomorrow. Oh wait, which would be today probably? I don't know. I'll just, of course, I'm not gonna let me do that. I'm gonna mute.
It's nearly time! Let's get ourselves over to the Nilotpala Cup qualifiers.
Why don't you just put a damn teleporter over there? This is annoying as hell. It's way too far away.
Yeah! Hey!
Hungry.
If I had a lot of money, I'd keep it in my hands and never give it to anybody.
I see everything! Hey! I see everything! Looks like the qualifiers are about to kick off. Alhingen's giving an opening speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nilotpala Cup Beast Tamers Tournament is about to begin. I genuinely hope that everyone has fun in the competition and wish you all the very best of luck. At the same time, I ask that you bear in mind that this tournament is held in the spirit of friendly and fair competition. By all means, give everything you've got, but respect your opponents at the same time. Don't lose your head. This is just a sport, not a fight to the death. I have spent a considerable amount of time in my life searching for a way for humans and dangerous creatures to coexist. The wisdom orbs you now hold in your hands show me that it is indeed possible. I sincerely hope that this event will show the potential of beast taming to a wider audience. People need a way to avoid conflict and stay safe in the wild. And beast taming can help us achieve this.
Oh, so that's why Alhingen is putting his whole fortune into this. What an inspiring goal. But Caltilia, on the other hand...
Thank you for your speech, Mr. Alhingen. I'd like to add a few words of my own, if I may. Welcome, Beast Tamers! The wisdom orbs in your hands are a truly groundbreaking invention, representing the culmination of centuries of technological innovation at the academia. Actually, there are 9 extraordinary technical breakthroughs that make them so exciting.
Caltilia, everyone's eager to try them out for themselves. There's no need to delve into all the details right now.
Of course. Well, I'll explain everything to you all when I get the chance. I'm sure you'll get a sense of just how advanced this technology is when you start using it in the arena. Trust your wisdom orbs and have fun in the competition.
What a total nerd! Doesn't he know there's a time and place to talk tech? Good thing Alhingen has enough situational awareness for the both of them. Otherwise, this could have dragged on for a long time. Ooh, the qualifiers have officially started! It's time to face our first opponent!
I wanted to see what that was supposed to be about for a moment.
Never would have thought that happy little girl would grow up to become so formidable.
To the host's credit, this event is well organized. I'll take note of that. But the sponsor's source of funds still needs looking into.
such a well-organized event. The venue's a little small, but the turnout is good, and the organizers seem to have taken care of all the details. I should take a leaf out of their book.
Seems I am pretty capable.
And why am I talking to myself? It's so annoying. I'm not gonna like this. I bet it's gonna be really bad.
Didn't know they put the bar for entry so low. Let's go! This is gonna be over so fast. Don't blink or you'll miss it.
Don't be nervous, Bonglehead. It's only the qualifiers. These are teeny tiny potatoes. Just think of them as stepping stones. Time to use your splish splash water balloon!
It's okay. You still got this. How can my swift fighting style fail? Everyone, retreat now!
This fungi fighting is unlike anything else we've ever done before, and it's super fun! That beast tamer and her fungi work together pretty well. Almost as well as the two of us. That's not what Paimon meant. Paimon just wanted to say that our opponent seems to have developed her own fighting style unique to her and her fungus. Oh, it'd be great if we were more tightly in sync with Bongo Head. Imagine if we could just look at him and he'd know exactly what to do. That would be amazing.
That's why it's so important to develop close connections with your teammates.
Miko and Layla! How's it going for you so far?
Twirly Whirly and the other shroom buddies were way stronger than I thought. Before I knew it, they'd knocked the opposition out. When I got back to the arena, I saw Miss Yai's opponent running away like they'd just seen a ghost. Miss Yai said she needed to find you and discuss something, so I came with her.
Little Layla here breezed through her first battle. Soka won hers by a hair's breadth, but mine was rather disappointing. My opponent was a frightful bore.
Well, it's only just started after all. It'd be a bit of a crazy tournament if everyone in the qualifiers was a prize fighter. But anyway, what was it you wanted to discuss with us?
You're getting smarter, aren't you, Paimon? I thought you'd need me to remind you, but no, you said it yourself. Our opponents will only get stronger as the tournament proceeds, so we mustn't let our guard down. Why don't we keep up the momentum from our respective first-round victories? Let's give our fungi some special training to strengthen our bonds with them.
Great idea! Stay one step ahead of the game. All right, guess it's Shroom Buddy's special training o'clock. Let's get to it!
The view here is wonderful. It smells of the rainforest here, and we're far enough away that no one will bother us. Let's have some fun with our fungi friends, then take a break to sample some of Sumeru's delectable snacks.
Yay! Snack time! Snack time! Wait a second. Aren't we here for training, though? Or did you put something in the snacks that'll improve our bonds with our fungi?
Even if I had that kind of power, I wouldn't dream of abusing it. I assure you, the dried fruits and pastries I brought are quite ordinary. Perhaps you thought I'd planned an intensive training session for you? That won't be necessary. On the contrary, when you're constantly on edge, you miss quite a lot of important things. Since the goal here is to bond with our fungi, we should treat them as friends and create happy memories with them. Eating and having fun together are vital components of friendship training. Imagine if all the Traveler ever thought about was making you stronger, forcing you to build rock-hard muscles just to watch you send Mitatrolls flying. Would you gladly comply?
Why are you looking at Paimon like that? Oh, don't you dare try anything like that, or Paimon will ignore you for 3 days! No, 5 days!
See? You and she have a very strong bond, but that doesn't mean you'd be happy for her to inflict a rigorous physical training regimen on you. Do you really think the fungi would be any more receptive when they've only just met you?
Huh. Well, when you put it like that...
Miss Yai is right. Also, I'm curious to see what would happen if the wisdom orb is turned off or malfunctions. I wonder if the fungi will stay tamed or not. Yeah, it takes time for friends to get to know each other properly and come to trust each other. I can't always rely on this gizmo to communicate with Twirly Whirly. It makes me feel like I'm giving orders.
Ah, yes. True love cannot be controlled by external forces. Little Layla's belief is a classic one.
But that would mean giving up control over the fungi. Is that really a good idea?
Go ahead and give it a try, little Layla. Don't worry, the little ones and I will be here to keep you safe.
Okay, is everyone ready? I'm gonna do it.
Look at that! Now that it's turned off, Twirly Whirly's moving around on its own again. But it's not attacking people nearby like it did before!
Perhaps the Wisdom Orb's technology doesn't allow people to control the fungi at all. Maybe it simply adjusts the fungi's temperaments, calming them down so that they're capable of forming connections with people. If this theory is correct, little Layla's wish may yet come true. Once you've gotten to know each other, you'll be able to freely communicate without using the Wisdom Orb.
Miko's right! Forget fancy schmancy technology. The real breakthrough here is the power of friendship.
I'll do my best. I want to learn all about Twirly Whirly's likes and dislikes, then buy lots of snacks from the almighty merchant.
Paimon wants to get to know the real Bongo Head, too. Let's try deactivating our Wisdom Orb, shall we?
Traveler, Paimon, Miss Yai, do you and your shrimp buddies want to join us? I think Twirly wants to play in the water over there.
You'd better be careful. Don't get too close to Blitzara when you're knee-deep in the water, or you might find yourself on the receiving end of a very unique lower leg massage.
Right. Paimon almost forgot. Should we let Bongo Head try something different? We could climb a tree together and see the view from the top. You two go ahead. We want Bongo Head to try something different since it's probably used to playing near water.
Oh, okay. Meet you back here later then. Hope you have a good time.
Bongo Head, we can do whatever you want to do. Just let us know. Paimon will probably understand you. Why isn't it responding? Guess Paimon will have to try using delicious treats to win its affection.
Help! Help me! Something's not right! Why are these fungi so aggressive?
Did you hear that? It sounds like someone's calling for help. Hurry! Let's go check it out! Everyone hold hands!
What are you doing here?
Hania? You saved the children?
I happened to be nearby. The children were mimicking what they'd seen the contestants doing and ended up getting surrounded by wild fungi. Fortunately, I heard the commotion and got here in time to save them.
That's so dangerous! Why are they trying to approach wild fungi without a wisdom orb?
It's hardly their fault. I was almost drawn in by the fungi's cute appearance once, too. Luckily, I remembered my family's stern warnings and the suffering that previous generations once endured, so I kept my distance. People never used to be under any illusion about how dangerous the fungi can be. But this Neelit polycup is changing people's perceptions, and now they're letting their guard down against the fungi. A consequence that Elhingen failed to foresee. I'm putting an end to this debacle, first chance I get. The Wisdom Orb is the perfect tool for exterminating fungi on a large scale. And once I win the tournament, they'll be mine to do with as I please.
What are you talking about, Hania? Exterminating fungi? Not in front of Pyro 1! Don't you care about its feelings? You're taking part in the tournament too, aren't you? You even taught us a few tips and tricks. You're clearly enjoying the event.
I'm quite certain Pyro 1 would back me up if it was capable of realizing the past mistakes of its kind. But regrettably, it's just a pawn controlled by a gadget. It will never understand human sentiments. As for why I taught you guys a few things, don't you realize? I saw your potential, and I wanted you to help me reach my goals. Yet here you are now, pleading the fungi's case. You've gotten too deep in this absurd game. Looks like Golden Comet and Silver Companion don't deserve such a stellar reputation after all.
Wait! Don't go! We turned off our Wisdom Orb just now, and we were playing with the fungi and everything!
Ooh my, such a standout personality, and with the perfect dose of obstinacy. I sense dramatic events just waiting to unfold.
Miko? Layla? Oh, you heard the cries for help too, huh?
We were just talking about her as it happens. Little Layla told me that Hania gave you some guidance when you first entered the tournament, but after you met Layla, she very abruptly left. Looking at it now, she seems to be a classic case of a wrong path character. Blames the many for the mistakes of a few and seeks to wipe them all out of existence. She takes the wrong path because in her eyes it is the most effective and sensible method of achieving her goal.
Fungi can definitely be aggressive and damage their environment, but some research also suggests that they're only acting in accordance with their nature, just like any other wild animals. The fungi have existed for a long time. No one knows what the ecological implications for the rainforest would be if they all got killed off suddenly.
Right! We shouldn't resort to extreme measures. No matter what Hania has been through, we can't let her do this just because she wants to.
You intend to stop her achieving victory? I can't say I didn't expect that response from you, but I hear she's one of the favorites to win this tournament. Are you prepared to face such a formidable opponent?
That's what you brought us here for, right? To get acquainted with our fungi friends so we can cooperate better with them? Wait, did you know all this was gonna happen?
It would be rather boring if I had arranged every last detail in advance. The chance encounter between you and Hania came as quite a pleasant surprise. Today's training ends here. The qualifiers should be over now. We should go and find out what to expect in the later stages.
Seems I am pretty capable.
Everyone, I gotta make my fungi move faster. So fast that my opponent won't have time to react.
There are a lot of people over there. Are they looking for something?
I heard that the organizers set up loads of message boards for the audience to leave comments and interact with each other. It sounds like a good way to encourage discussion about the tournament. I wonder if people will talk about me and Twirly Whirly. advance in one of my papers somehow.
Paimon thinks that's a great idea! You always need a ton of information to write a paper, and you can't always get the info you need. But this time, you're the one providing yourself with the information. You can write whatever you want.
That's a nice idea, Paimon. But I'm from the Ratawahiz, Darshan. The kind of information I'm gathering now would only be of any use to someone in the Amurta, Darshan.
Yeah! You can provide the information to Amurta students! Maybe sell it to the highest bidder! Wait, no! Royalties! Charge royalties!
Mora is a secondary consideration, but I could make it a fair trade by getting the Amurta students to read through some advanced papers for me and figure out what Twirly Whirly's kind likes. If I can narrow the search, it'll make my life a whole lot easier. I won't have to buy hundreds of different things and get Twirly Whirly to try them all. Just thinking about it makes me want to pass out.
Layla, that's an amazing idea! Please, get them to look into what Bongo Head likes, too!
I'll do my best. When I get back, I'll write a letter and send it to the Amurta.
Little one, the pairings for the remaining 32 are out.
Huh? We'll be facing Soka next.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this a lot.
What are you so excited about? Aren't you worried that we'll knock your budding author out of the competition? If that happens, Yai Publishing House's nice little journey in Sumeru will come to a very abrupt end.
Oh, please, do your worst. I never asked Soka to win in the first place. Besides, maybe suffering a humiliating defeat will give her the epiphany she so desperately needs. After all, a life with no obstacles tends to narrow the mind. People end up believing that only they are on the right path. Sometimes, obstacles are more valuable than smooth sailing. Excellent. I'm looking forward to the next round. I'll await your good news.
Does it mean they're ready now for the next one? I don't know if I'm ready for it. Shouldn't I try to get some other... yeah, guess not. Because if anything, I know I could probably try to catch... Which is what I probably got to do before the next challenge itself. Well, what I really need to take care of. I'm gonna have to end this stream here. Hopefully nothing else pops up. If it does, it'll be a separate video later.